for me, it's why in general we need to see that this religion is better than other.
Not religion. I'm talking about God. Right?
Yeah, it's the same because okay, for me and you, there is a God.
You're doing a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think it's yeah. So to us, it's like just to understand. We believe our greatest purpose is to believe in one God, like the Creator. So I'm not going into religion.
And why not several?
Yeah,
Why not?
because
Several.
Because if there's several, that which God created which God? If there is more than one God, there has to be one ultimate independent
And who
being.
created that God?
So we say God, if God was created, he can't be God. So we say that he is a necessary
And
independent
why
being.
can't you have like several gods at the same time that didn't create each
Because
other, but
then,
at the same time?
then we ask the question is that who created who? And who has this
No,
will?
but maybe none. They all
No, there
were.
has to be. Okay, we say that then you have the problem of infinite regress. We have the problem of infinite regress. If you say, for example, who created that God, then I'll say who created that God that created that God, then you will never get anything.
But why do you have to ask that question?
Because it's necessary for us to ask that question. Because
Why?
otherwise,
Why is it necessary?
let me tell you why. Because if I say, for example, if I say to you, I'm going to give you this microphone, but before I give you this microphone, I have to ask someone behind me. I say, can you give me permission to give this man the microphone? And then he asks somebody else to ask somebody else. If this goes on forever, would I ever give you the microphone? No, because it's infinite.
Why do you need
regress.
someone else?
That's the point. So we say that's the point. God doesn't need another God.
But you could be several with a microphone at the same time. I don't see what's the issue.
The argument is that if there was more than one God, you will never have the universe. Nothing would start to
I
begin.
don't see why.
Because you'd have the fallacy of infinite regress. Everything's going on forever or forever. You never have nothing. There has to be one source that it began from. That's my argument.
No, I don't think so.
Of course. If it was more than two sources, then there can't be two all-powerfuls. There has to be one all-powerful. If you have two all-powerfuls, it's a contradiction. How could you have two all-powerfuls? There has to be one all-powerful.
But why
I don't see why.
about the power?
Because he's the one, like, for example, we have power in our universe, so he has to be all-powerful. Like, we need to
That's
understand...
the issue with all those powers. We have all the wars, etc., because we are chasing for the powers.
No, when I mean power, I don't mean power of force. I mean the power of, like, for example, creating. I don't mean that power of war. I'm not talking about that. I
But
mean...
it's still, when we focus on the power in our brains, it's, you have to have a power. And that need to have all the powers causes so much
100%.
pain
No,
all over the world.
Yeah, what I meant is God is the all-powerful, the all-knowing. I don't mean power in the sense of controlling. I mean God has the ability, maybe the word is ability, not power. God has the ability to create.